I'm a children's book author. That means that I write the stories, but I don't do the illustrations. I am terrible at drawing, guys. So I always need somebody to help me with the illustrations. And today I'm going to read you a story that was written by me and illustrated by Anastasiia Ku, who lives out in Europe. And so she drew all the pretty pictures that you'll see in this book. So if there's any of you who like to draw and paint and color, this is something that you can actually do for a living. This is what Anastasia does all the time. So I'm going to read you a book called Sunny Days. It's set in New Orleans, which is my home away from home. I'm from Oakland, grew up in Oakland. I went to St. Leo's when I was about your age. And now I live in Oakland, but my wife lives in Dubai, and I'm in Atlanta right now visiting my mom. So I'm reading you guys a story called Sunny Days. This is what we call an in page. It has all of the little clues that are in the story. So pay attention to this page because this page has a lot of little clues about what's going to come up in the story. And maybe you'll recognize some of the drawings later in the book. Martine is skipping to school. She stopped to take a peek inside of Mr. Pip's bakery. His shop always smelled of delicious cupcakes, sprinkles, and warm strawberry icing. Mmm. Hey, Mr. Pip, Martine screamed. Mr. Pip was so surprised he nearly dropped his cake. Next, Martine stopped at Miss Shirley's music studio. Miss Shirley's students played the most beautiful music you could ever hear. Sometimes they would come outside and play songs for the whole neighborhood. People would rush out of their homes and shops carrying fancy umbrellas and dance right in the street. Everyone loved it. This is what we call a second line in New Orleans, guys, where people come outside with live instruments and trombones and horns and drums, and we dance right in the street and we play music. Hi, Miss Shirley, Martine yelled. Martine slapped the window and waved with both hands. Now, you may not know this, but Martine loves peaches. She loves to feel the fuzzy skin and taste the sweet, sweet juice inside. Mr. Johnny's grocery had peaches so big you needed to hold them with two hands. Hi, Mr. Johnny, shouted Martine. Mr. Johnny was so startled he tossed his apples into the air. And later that day, the rain outside was scary. Martine's mom came to pick her up early from school. We're taking a surprise trip to Grandma's, she said. Daddy's gonna meet us there. On the drive to Grandma's, the heavy rain sounded like static. Psh, lightning flashed in the sky as if someone were playing with a big light switch. The wind blew so fast the trees looked like they would be snatched right out of the ground, and thunder shook the earth as if giants were jumping nearby. When they arrived at Grandma's, Martine had to take a bath. Then her dad pulled her favorite crocodile blankie out of his suitcase and wrapped her up in it. The family rushed to the living room as Grandma clicked on the news. There was a terrible storm on the TV. Hurricane Willis is bringing in a lot of rain, said the reporter. That's our house, Martine yelled. Once it was safe to go home, Martine's neighborhood wasn't as she remembered. The sweet smells, pretty colors, and beautiful music had all disappeared. For days, people stood around sad looking at their houses and shops until one afternoon, Martine got an idea. That next morning, Martine jumped out of bed. She wiggled into her school clothes. She brushed her teeth in a flash. She gobbled up her breakfast. Nom, nom, nom. She swiped her lunch from the kitchen counter. Then she burst through the front door and looked up to the big blue sky. Hey, Grace, hey, she shouted. Every morning, Martine did the same thing with the same excitement. Hey, Lisa girl. Bonjour, Penelope. Hello, Jill. Good day, Charlie. Hola, Luca. Hi, Drew. One day, Mr. Johnny stopped Martine on her way to school and asked, Martine, little girl, who in the world are you talking to? People on TV name the rainy days Willis. Well, I wanted to name the sunny days too, Martine whispered. Mr. Johnny looked like he'd seen a ghost. He reached behind him for his chair and plopped down in it. When people came to see if he was okay, Mr. Johnny told them exactly what Martine had said. And as Martine was skipping home from school that day, something strange happened. People were sweeping dirt out of their shops, putting in new windows, painting store signs, and carrying big, big bags of garbage out of their homes. Martine helped where she could. And before long, their neighborhood looked even better than before. People threw a big party in the street to celebrate. Miss Shirley's students played music with their new donated instruments. Mr. Pitt baked a cake long as a picnic table covered with delicious frosting and purple sprinkles. And at the parade, Mr. Johnny walked up to Martine carrying the biggest peach she'd ever seen. It was so plump, she really did have to hold it with two hands. Martine danced, holding her peach and smiling from ear to ear. People in her community had found a new joy and a new strength in each other and in themselves. The end. And so that's the end of Sunny Days. We'll tell you a little bit about the people who created the book. Remember, Anastasia drew all the pretty pictures. She lives in Europe. Some of her favorite things are creating new worlds, like the one you just saw, playing music, chubby animals, and Harry Potter books. Some of my favorite things are writing stories, reading books. I love reading books, playing video games, watching movies, warm popcorn, French toast, and my wifey, mine. And some of the things we like to share a little secret about ourselves. A secret about me is that I happen to think that I'm a very good milkshake maker. I'm not sure that that's true, but I like to think it's true because it makes me happy. And Anastasia, in her own words, she thinks she's one of the world's silliest runners. She feels like when she runs, she looks like a hungry raccoon who just stole some food from humans and is trying to get away. And so those are some little weird things about us. And then here again, you got the end pages. Remember, we talked about how the end pages have little clues of things that are in the story. So now take a look at what you see. You can see Martine's peach. You can see some of the buildings from the new neighborhood. You see the gentleman in all brown there with the orange case. I'll show you where he is in the story. Boom. So he's right there in this page. So everything you saw drawn on the end pages are things that are actually in the story. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Um, this is Sunny Days. Once again, my name is Jesse Byrd. I am the author and I did the art direction for this story. And Anastasiia Ku is the illustrator. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And I can't wait till I can read to you live and in person. And we can all get together and have a great time.